Let's Chat is brought to you by the CARICOM Business Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Let's Chat. I'm your host this evening, Trevor Danpaul, coming to you live from the CARICOM Business Network located in Queens, New York. This is the show where we showcase someone from the Caribbean community, a business owner. We promote their business and services to the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me live this evening. It is Tuesday, 8 o'clock in New York City. For all those joining me, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it. The people that are on live right now, I really do appreciate you joining me, spending your precious time with us. For the people who are joining us after the fact, we get a lot of people joining after the fact. I just want to say thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get straight into it. Today we have one of our, he has skipped international boundaries. He has changed the game in the rental industry. He is none other than Mr. Adrian Chanderpaul. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Adrian Chanderpaul to the show. Good evening, sir. Welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Trevor. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join me this evening on the live so we can talk about all the progress that you've been making. Just for the people who don't know, he is the CEO, the man who started Deluxe car and truck rentals. He started in Canada. For all the Canadians, you probably know him. You probably use his services. He has left Canada. He came over to the United States. The magnet is strong here in the U.S. So he left Canada, came over here. He's down in Florida. He has a thriving business. He's on the network. He's very supportive. He supports us. We support him. So, Adrian, welcome to the show, sir.
Good night, Trevor. How are you doing?
Fantastic, man. Thank you for asking.
How's
How about
the weather
yourself?
over your end?
Oh, the weather, it's Florida weather we have here today, my brother.
Good. So you can know how I feel just now finishing up the day. So you can know how I feel right now.
Awesome. Sitting in that central ear down there, relaxing now, huh?
Yeah, because all day in the hot weather today. So I had
Right.
a lot of things to do. Um, had to move around a lot of cars and get things situated for clients for tomorrow. So,
Perfect. You are actually forever growing. Now, the last time you were on the show to now, you have added quite a few vehicles. You are ever expanding your customer service, every so often, I see the 5-star review keep popping up. Adrian, did a phenomenal job. Adrian this, Adrian's phenomenal. How do you manage to be such a customer service guru? Where did that come from?
well, with any business, if you're not good with customer service, you won't get a business, right?
True.
So our goal at Deluxe here is to make sure that our customers are like family to us. We go out of our way to make sure that they're comfortable, that we answer all their questions, show them how to work the vehicle. A lot of customers sometimes might not be familiar with a particular brand or model of vehicles. Somebody might be driving a Nissan and then you put them into a Mercedes. It's like two different animals.
True.
So you got to take the time, teach them how to do it so that they can go on the road safely. Lots of them have kids or families that are with them. So you want to make sure that they're comfortable with the vehicle before they go. Make sure that they know um, around the area what they're looking to get, set up their GPS, those kind of things, right? Because a lot of our customers are visitors from either New York, Canada, or around the world, right?
Right.
So we take that extra effort to spend that time with them to get to know what they need and figure it out, make sure that it's good for them. And I think a lot of our customer appreciate that.
Yeah, they actually
Give
do
them that
from,
when you give them that personal touch,
yes.
that's where a lot of our 5-star reviews come from because we invest that time with the customer to make sure that they're comfortable, especially in a new environment. Tell them a little bit about Florida, how the roads are, get them prepared for stuff that they're not usually prepared for.
And that I can say, with the larger car dealerships, car rental companies like Enterprise, not to throw nobody on the bus, but call it like it is. I've done a lot of traveling. I've used them a lot, and the service that you provide. As a customer, I was down there in Florida. I used your service, and phenomenal. I told you, treat me like any other customer. Not because you're on the network and all that. And you did. You rolled out the red carpet. I appreciate the time you took to point out the fine details, where you're going, location, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. I can see why the 5-star reviews are coming in all the time, like not just once in a while. Everybody's saying, hey man, Adrian did a great job, and phenomenal. You really do take this business seriously. You show it with your customer service, you show it with the care, the kindness, and also your prices, man, phenomenal. Like, where how are you able to provide such you know quality service, and also the prices are not just gonna blow up everybody's budget? How are you able to do that?
So one thing, we don't do predatory pricing, or we don't do what they call fishing pricing, where what they do, they send a bait out there. Like, some people would look online and they will see a cheaper price, they will see cars listed for less, but when they get to the location, you're flying at 10 p.m. in the night into Orlando. You get to the location at 10 p.m., you and your family are there, and then they're going to tell you the final bill is not the price that you saw. It's something
Right.
totally different, which is two or three times more what you bargained for. But now at 10 p.m., what options do you have?
True.
Right? You just have to go with the flow and get your family out of there, right? Now we take a different approach. We make sure that everything is upfront to the customer. They know what price it is, the price they pay upfront. They know what the price is going to be at the end. We don't have any hidden fees or anything. Um, Even the fine prints or our contract, we explain those things to the customer so they know they're not going to be charged hidden fees and those kind of things. And I mean, a lot of customer to me appreciate it. I appreciate that a lot when I travel, because I don't want to see one price and then pay something else. I feel like somebody is being shady with me at that time, right?
Right.
But me, I want to make sure that the customer has the same kind of experience that I expect when I travel, which is, if you're going to give me something, give me this, and based on your price, I know what the quality of service is, right? You pay for what
Perfect.
you get.
True
So
that.
if you're gonna pay, some people might not have the right insurance. They're doing this business as a side thing. If something does happen, you end up in an accident and there's a lawsuit, you might be in the losing end of that, right? That's why it's always recommended that you go to a reputable company, and a company
Right.
that has all the right insurance, all the right legal things set up, so that you're not in any way a disadvantage by any of these unfortunate circumstances that may happen, right? You want to protect yourself at the beginning, not at the end.
True that. Now, tell me about this. You've been in the car rental business for how long?
We're going on to 10 years now, so almost a decade.
Amazing. And how did you get started in the auto industry? Or tell us a little about your background before you got into the car rental business.
So before I got into the car rental business, I mean, always a lover of car, always like cars. Um, and I had a older mentor told me this: if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
True that. I agree with
So,
that.
so um, I took that and ran with it. I mean, I love cars. It's not hard for me to deal. The only difference is that you have to deal with other people renting. That's the only difference. But other than that, you're doing everything that you like. And I would say I like to make people happy. I like to see that my customers are happy. I would say 70 to 80% of my customer right now, they're all repeat customers. They're customers
Wow.
I dealt with, and they just keep coming back because they know what they're getting from me. They know they're getting a new car. They know the car is clean. They know the car is well maintained. They know all the things that, like, when they come, they're treated special. And then once you rent from me one time, um, you create a profile, and
Okay.
that profile, we will see from the first rental how you were, and then in the second rental, we can be able to be more flexible with you. So you get a better pricing, you get a free upgrade on maybe vehicle category. Maybe you might
Right.
book a sedan, saying that, hey, I don't want to spend a lot of money, let me just book a sedan for a week. um, but when you come to pick up the car, you're actually being surprised by getting an SUV or something nicer, but
Wow.
it's a free upgrade, right? It's part of our I would like to say a hidden loyalty program. So we don't really advertise it as much. We
Right.
like to surprise customer, have them have that nice experience that they did not expect something like this, but they ended up getting something, right?
So that's why you get the repeat customer because of that little trick right there.
Correct. I mean,
Fantastic.
and the service as well, right? Like they know what they
Mhm.
get. They know we don't bullshit them for anything. They know exactly what it is they're coming and get. Everything is negotiated and talked about before you get there. When you get to the office, there's no surprises.
Right.
What you discuss and what's agreed is what you're going to get in the end.
Cool. Now, do they have to call you, or can they go physically go on your website and set everything up and just pick up the car? How does it work?
So we have a few different ways in how we can do things. We can do a remote rental. You can go on the website. I think you list the website on your screen at the bottom in red.
Yep.
That's the website
Yes.
name. If you go on our website, you can see the different types of cars that we have. You have to put in your dates. So put in whatever dates you're coming, or whenever date you want to rent from. So if you're renting from, let's say, July 4th to July 10th, put in your date and then just follow the instructions on the website. It will gradually take you to where the cars are, and then you will see what's available. You will see the pricing. You will see if you need any add-on like unlimited mileage,
Okay.
insurance, those kind of fun stuff. And then it will take you to do a secure connection where you can put in your name to secure a reservation as well as your credit card. So you can literally pay and do everything check out on the website, and their confirmation email will go to you, and a confirmation email will come to us, and we will know what you book and go from there.
So it
We
sounds
also reach out to you once you book online, just to make sure that all the details are correct. The type of vehicle that you select is the one that you're going to get, those kind of things. We make sure that we communicate with you ahead of time. Not that,
okay.
let's say you make a mistake and you click the wrong car and you
Hmm.
think you were getting something else, and then when you show up, then the car is not big enough, or it's too small, or
Got you.
something like that, right? We communicate with you, make sure that those things are set for you before you get here.
So it sounds like you do everything that the big boys are doing, like enterprise budget, all of those big guys. It
I
seems
would
like
say
you're
we
doing
do more.
everything that they would do. You would do
I
more.
would
Okay.
say we do
Tell
more
me more.
because, like I said, I mean, when you book with us, you get a white glove service. We will reach
Okay.
out to you. You speak to a human being. There is no number that you're going to be on hold for 10, 15, 20 minutes, transfer you here, there, and everywhere, those kind of things. No, you get to speak to a live human being who you can then share your expectation with us
Hmm.
with. And based on your expectation, we can see and fine tune everything for you. Take, for example, let's say you book online, but there's no notes, like you can't put anything in. We reach out to
Hmm.
you because you might say, hey, you know what? I'm coming, but I need two baby seats, or I need a
Okay.
booster seat or a baby seat, or I need something else in the vehicle. We can go out and get those things for you and have that in the vehicle for you. So when you
Oh,
get
very
there,
nice.
like you don't have to travel with your baby seats or a stroller or something of the sort. You know what I mean?
So you like have to add on stuff on request, though, or is it you got to pay for it? How does that work?
Well, depends. So some of the stuff, if we have them on hand, and if you're a regular person or a regular renter with us, or
Hmm.
if you're coming through, especially if you're coming through CARICOM Business Network, that's not an issue. We can waive those things and make it a complimentary for you, just
No,
because of where
perfect.
the referral is coming from. So that's an added bonus if you're booking. And Trevor is going to put up a code later on. We have a discount code. It's CARICOM 15. If you make a note of that, you can book on the website and have that code there. Once you'll get an automatic 15% discount. And if you need any add-ons for your rental, we can make that happen for you and
That's
make it
my line.
complimentary as well.
How are you using my line? CARICOM 15. I was gonna put it over there. But let me touch on this, Adrian. So it builds value for them to create a profile. Because if you have a profile and they're renting from you, if they come in, add-ons automatically get put there.
Yeah.
Any VIP server, like you say, the real white glove. Come on, everybody gets a white glove. But if you have a profile and you're a regular customer, you get double-handed white glove.
Well, yes, but to put it this way is like you get an extra preferential treatment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if we see that you rented from us more than once, and we see that because every time you rent from us, it's recorded. We will know,
Right.
and every time we see that, we make it extra special for you because
Mm-hmm.
we value our customers, especially the customer that comes back to us, right? And like I said, 80 to 90% of my business right now, it's all referral customers that came to us already and are now coming back again because they need. And a lot of them even send their friends or family as well.
Perfect. Now, how does that work? They send their friends and family. What type of reception is that? What does that include? Referral business now.
Well, to be honest with you, most of our clients, I will say, referrals just out of the service that they have.
Mm-hmm.
They just had a good experience. They know that there's somebody that they can count on. You know, we can do airport pickups for you. Now think about it this way:
Okay.
you're sending your kid or you're sending somebody. You don't want a random person that you don't know or you can't find go and pick them up, right? Just in case something does happen. Not saying something will happen, but
Mm-hmm.
as a parent, everybody will, want to make sure that they do their best to get somebody there to do that. We will
Right.
send somebody that is good, or um, I will say all background checks and so are done with employees and those kind of things. So whoever goes to pick you up, we know they're safe. They can pick you up. There's no issue. So if you have to get picked up at the airport 10, 12 in the night, it's not a problem. You just make the arrangement with us. We get somebody out there to sort you out.
Perfect. So, tell us out of your location now. You are working. You're predominantly closer to. Go ahead. Which
So,
airport?
Orlando International
There
Airport,
we
which
go.
is MCO, we're about 20 minutes from the airport. So we're off airport rental. Off airport means we're not far away. And how we get you from the airport, we can do terminal pickup or arrange some sort of pickup for you, or we can even arrange a drop off as well.
Okay.
It all depends on the situation. So you will have to tell us, and we can figure that out. But we can do either one. Our office, like I said, is like 15, 20 minutes from the airport. So you just come back, pick up your car. Alternatively, we can do a drop off, but when the time comes for that, we can discuss how you want to do that. That's just one of our location. We're also in Winter Garden and Oakland.
Right.
In
You
in
have three locations, right, Adrian?
Yeah, three locations right now.
Okay.
So we do have other locations. Those locations mainly service like local customers, or if customers are, we do a lot of work with body shops. So if you are in an accident and you need a rental, we can rent you the car, bill your insurance company. We also are affiliated with a lot of body shops. So
Okay.
if somebody is in the Orlando area that's in a wreck and you need some assistance, you can reach out to us. We can make sure that your partner with a nice body shop that can do your job. And these are certified body shops that certified with Honda, certified with all the major car brands.
That's phenomenal. Now, tell me this, Adrian. Deluxe Car Rental has been around for a minute now. You have a lot of experience in the game. How are you able to compete with all the big dogs, all the enterprise, the budget, like I said earlier, and all the other car services? How are you able to stay alive in this competitive market?
So a lot of feedback we're been getting from our customers are they go to enterprise, there are long lines. They book a car, they book a, let's say, a minivan. They show up at the airport at 8 or 9 p.m. in the night. There's no
Okay.
minivan for them. They book it, they have a confirmation for it, but when they show up to the location, there's no minivan. So they're either sitting there waiting, odds on end, probably have to take a Uber or some other means to get to their hotel or get to where they're going, and then figure out another car rental.
Hmm.
So, so the long, and then if they do have cars, you're in the line at the airport. You're in the line, even though you have a reservation and
Hmm.
a confirmation. You're in the line for maybe a 1 hour, 2 hour sometimes. So we take all those things away. When you deal with us, it's easy. Everything is done beforehand. You come as soon as you land at the airport. There's somebody waiting there for you. There's
Okay.
no There's no line that you have to go. Like we bypass all these things. There's no hassle. We take the hassle out of everything that these bigger rental company will give you. And if you Google Orlando, we are the car rental capital of the world here. So
Oh
in
wow.
our peak season, there are sometimes no car, even though there are thousands and thousands of cars here to be rented. In the peak season, there are no cars available. When you go to these different, whether you go to Enterprise Horts, Avis, you name it, whichever one you go to, they might be out of cars, or if they're not out of cars, you're in these long lines. And think about it, you just came off a 2, 3, 4, 5 hour flight.
All right.
You and your kids, you don't want to stand in a line. You just want to pick up your vehicle and go on your way. You're here on vacation or you're here on a work trip. You just need to go where you need to go. So we make sure that those things are set for you. Um, our cars, especially, I've rented from Enterprise and Horse, and I do this on a regular. Like whenever I go anywhere, I rent from those guys to just see what systems they have in place, how the car is kept, how service is going, so I know if I'm falling behind or I'm ahead.
Oh, he's
So
scoping out the competition.
yeah, you have to snoop out the competition, right?
Right.
So I have had situation where I rent a car from them. The car is not clean. You hold the steering, it's very sticky, nasty. The cup holder are all,
I can verify.
the cars are smelling bad, those kind of things. These are things that when you come here, you're, like I said, you're here with your family. You don't want to go into a dirty car, a car that's filthy, or it looks like you're sitting on a street bench or something. You want comfort, you want quality, you want cleanliness. It's the same expectation when you go to a hotel. If you go into the room and the room is smelling bad and it's looking like trash, would you want to stay there,
Hell no.
right? The bigger companies have the advantage because they do a lot more marketing than I will do, and they have a lot more basis of where they will get their customers. Funny enough, though, some customer thinks that you go with a bigger company, you get a better service. Not, it's not the case.
Yeah,
You
that's
go
that's
with a
not always true.
smaller company, you have hands-on service, you get hold of people right away. If something does happen to your vehicle while you're on your rental, we figure out, we get a tow truck, we get everything out there. But needless to say, that's 99.99%. You don't need that from us because all our cars are brand new. We don't have high mileage vehicles, so we don't have vehicles that have been in accidents or any kind of maintenance issue. So 99% of the time, you don't have that issue with us. Most of the time, if you do have something like that, is either you got a flat on the road or you bump another car or something like that. That's how we think. But
Right.
we have people that will come out, assist you, get you into another vehicle if you need to, whatever the case may be, to get you going again.
So now you said something that's interesting. All the cars are brand new, right? Because sometimes, most of the times when I, on my job, travel all across the world, and I get in a rental, sometimes it doesn't feel like it's a brand new car. Like it feels like it's really the mileage will be low, but it feels like a lot of wear and tear. So all your cars are brand new.
Yes, all my cars are brand new. That's one. We've been doing this business model for a long time, and we
Uh-huh.
find that that works best. Some people would want to say, "Hey, why not go to the auction, buy a crash car, and fix it? You know, it'll be cheaper." Yes, cheaper doesn't mean better.
True,
Now,
true.
think about it this way: I buy a crash car, I fix it. Let's say for some reason you get into an accident or somebody got into an accident where there's injuries involved now between
Right,
either the renter of my vehicle or the other party. I can potentially get sued now to say, well, I bought a crash car that was in an accident and I didn't fix it properly.
right, right.
So we don't
So,
we don't want those kind of liabilities. So what we do, we have brand new cars. Brand new cars are covered bumper to bumper for 3 years. We don't even keep them 3 years. We keep them about 2 years, and then recycle them, get new ones again.
right. So, all your cars are brand new, and on your website you have a ton of cars on there. What is the last car that you added to your inventory? Because I know you're always upgrading, you're always adding stuff. What's the last car you added to the inventory?
I added Dodge Durango and a minivan, Toyota Sienna.
Okay.
The
Oh,
Toyota
nice.
Sienna has been doing pretty well here because, like I said, lots of family. People want 6, 7 people, traveling together, some space for luggage. That vehicle works pretty well for that.
Super cool. So you're always updating inventory. Your prices are super competitive with the big boys. How are you able to do that?
Well, like I said, my business model is to make sure that the customers are happy in terms of the pricing that they get, the service that they get. Now, my prices sometimes might not be the lowest price, but it's the most competitive price for what you have, because you can't compare a price that's listed online to what I have. It's not the same thing, because they just throw you into any vehicle that they have on the lot and they give it up to you. Right now, if
Okay.
you're booking a minivan with me, you know what you're getting. It's like I said, brand new, well maintained, and our vehicles are not base model either. All our vehicles are mid to high trim. So you have like the leather seats, panoramic sunroof, those kind of things. Even premium sound systems are in most of the vehicles as well.
That's awesome. Let's take some time to shout out to a couple of people who are on a check-in. I have Diane Latchman. She's a regular check in on that. So thank you for that, Diane. We have lovable Jen. She said, "Good night, gentlemen." For guys, listen, go ahead and jump in the chat. Send any questions. Adrian's a car rental CEO down in Orlando, Florida. If you guys are ever thinking about going to Orlando, Florida, he's the man to talk. He's on the CARICOM Business Network. You put in the CARICOM 15, it's a 15% discount just because you're on the show. You saw that. So that's a huge promotion right there. 50% can go a long way. But yeah, Adrian, let me ask you this now. Let me put you in the hot seat. So, been in the market, competing with multi-billion dollar company. You are surviving. You're working on the repetitive customer. Once a customer gets stranded at the airport for whatever reason, they get in touch with you. It's pretty much a lifelong customer for there. Now, what is the plans for Deluxe Car Rentals? What plans do you have for your company in terms of expansion? You have 3 locations currently in Florida. Where are you going from that? You have Winter Garden on lockdown, you have Oakland, and you have Orlando pretty much by the airport. You got it locked. What's next for you?
So next for us is that we're trying to infiltrate New York, Queens, New York,
Okay.
as one of the location there. I have been approached by a lot of my customers or body shops that I dealt with in Canada, and they really want me to start back my operations in Canada. So I'm strongly considering, seeing as I had already a big presence there, and like it would just be automatic start back. But
Wow.
I have had numerous approach from Canada to start back the operations there. So I'm considering that. I'm considering even within the states like New York, to expand to, and then see where it takes us from there.
That's awesome. So let me ask you this now. How are you gonna manage all of this big operation? I know you have a team. In terms of expansion, where does Deluxe Car Rental go in terms of that? What if Enterprise called you up tomorrow and say, Adrian, you know what, you're doing phenomenal jobs. Here's $20 million. We want to buy you out. Where do you stand with that?
They're gonna have for more than that. That's the first thing. But I mean, coming down to where you said, how do we manage the expansion? So a lot of that has to do with software and integrations, right?
Okay.
Um, I've spent a lot of time building my software to where it needed to be to handle certain things. So you eliminate that human error. So
Right.
even though you might be picking up a car in New York and we're based in Orlando, you can still maybe get somebody from Orlando if you have an issue, and we will be able to fix it. Now, let's say you're picking up a car in Canada or you're picking up a car in New York. Then what will happen is that you go through the same reservation system. Everything is there. Um, I mean, everything is by phone and cameras these days. So
Right.
we will still maintain that whoever is running the operation, let's say somebody's running an operation in Queens, New York. Now, if that person is running, they have to run it to our standards because it's our name, you know, there. So we have to make sure if we have a manager at that location, that manager have to follow our strict rules, because you might be working for us, but if you're not there, you might be doing things your own way. We are
Right.
not going to have that. We're going to have you do things a certain way. There's going to be a step-by-step process on how you do it. We will provide maybe a manual or whatever for them to follow.
Okay.
They will know that this is how we present our cars to our customers. This is the type of service. This is the follow up we do. This is the communications we do. And I mean, coming back to a lot of the things that you mentioned, the reviews, a lot of it had to do when we talk to our customers, had to do that they find our communication to be very easy, very accessible. If they send us a message or an email, it's replied to in a timely manner, address any concern that they have. They feel comfortable that they're not going to be charged for a ding or a dent or something that comes back. They know what it is and they trust us and we trust them. And the same level, we're going to do that. So even if, let's say, with the Canada locations open back, we have to get a manager over there. New York has to get a manager.
Right.
You're going to have to follow these same steps. You can always, verify everything by phone, video call, those kind of things. But they're going to follow those same steps and you're going to have that same type of customer service. So it doesn't matter what location you go to, you're going to still have that customer service the same way.
Right.
And your profile renting from us in Orlando, like you will have that across the board. So if you fly into Canada now, let's say Orlando customer flies into Canada, he needs a car from there. We will already have that information to know that, oh, this is a special customer, or there's a customer that's been with us a long time. Give them a free upgrade,
Right. Right.
give them a pork here or there, whatever it is that they need. We will be able to still, and you'll be treated like somebody. Like, think about it this way: you walk into Deluxe in Canada versus you walk in here, they're gonna still know you by your name, because the
I
minute,
got.
you give them your ID card, they're gonna know, hey, Trevor, welcome back.
I got.
You know,
I got.
this is your fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth rentals, whatever it is, right?
Discount.
Well, it's discount alone, and then at the same time, I mean, think about it. Anywhere you go, and you have that level of comfortness where somebody knows you, they know who you are, they know your preferences, they know you barely have to say anything.
True
You
that.
know,
That's. I got to
I,
give a shout
I,
out to Delta and my window seat. They just know what I want.
so same principle, and like I said, I mean, once you rent from us, the only thing you might have to update is your credit card. If you're renting for us frequently, and let's say it's within 2 months, you may not even used to, you don't have to even update that. We already know who you are. We already have the information. Like, it will be like 30 seconds. You can be in and out because you don't
Perfect.
need to verify all these things. This was verified, like, as you come
Awesome.
in. Yeah.
I think you're on the way to franchise, my friend.
Well,
Deluxe.
I have been getting a lot of calls about that, and
Mm.
I'm thinking what to do. I don't want to make a big jump on it. I
Right.
want to
Right.
make sure that if I'm putting something out there in terms of franchising, and to be honest with you, when the Canadian people ask me about opening back,
Oh wow.
right? They
Uh-huh.
that they wanted me to go back, but it's like, no, that's not possible. I'm not gonna go back like that. Like, I fly in and fly out, but I'm not going back there permanently. So they were like, okay, well, in that case, let's franchise it.
There we go.
But like I said, I mean, I would not franchise just like that. I has to be done a certain way. But
Understand. So, on top of that, so if someone comes from Guyana, they fly into New York, they want to eventually go to Florida. They can rent a car from New York once everything gets settled and you have your establishment here. They can literally rent a car from Deluxe in New York and drive to Florida
correct,
and pretty much return the car there and maybe fly out from Florida back to New York, back
correct.
to Guyana.
Yeah. So that will be one way rental. Yes, and we can at that time, once that those things are set up, yeah, we can do one way rental. Once it's doing between location to location, right? So you can even do
Perfect.
one from New York to Canada or Canada to Florida. Doesn't matter.
Makes a lot of sense. Let me ask you this: a lot of people, a lot of my friends, right? They drive very reckless. They're always getting into car accidents and all that stuff. They all once they get into an accident, they get a rental. The insurance company gives them a rental. How does that work? Do you work with insurance companies if somebody gets in an accident? Are you a possibility down in Florida? They can call you and say, hey, you know what? I need a rental. I got myself in some whatever the case may be. I need a rental. Are you able to accommodate that?
Yeah, 100%. That was the
Okay.
foundation of how we built our business in Canada. It was
Oh wow.
90% insurance rental. So we have years of experience dealing with claims through insurance company, and that's why I mentioned we don't only provide the rental, we have a network of affiliated, trustworthy body shops that we deal with too. So it all depends on your scenario or your location. We can recommend you to a credible body shop that we work with that can,
Okay.
look after your car while at the same time we're providing the rental for you. We even go a step further. A lot of people don't know or never made a claim, even though they've been paying for insurance for 10, 15, 20 years. They
Hmm.
never had an accident. And something that we offer free of charge for that is we can handle your claim for you. We can
Oh
have
wow.
we can initiate the claim. Of course, you have to be there to verify yourself, identify who you are, whatnot. But we can take over after those initial. You have to give a statement to the insurance, obviously, for whatever accident it is. But
Hmm.
after that initial phase, we can take over the claim from there and communicate with the insurer, make sure that the appraiser is coming out, seeing the car, approving the repairs, approving the length of the rental, and those kind of things. We can oversee all those things, and we don't charge you extra for that. That's something we can offer
Oh.
you, which a lot of people will just leave you to do. And if you don't know what you're saying to the insurance company, it's going to be at your
Oh.
disadvantage.
Insurance company, we're dealing with them. Oh my God. Everybody
they
has
they
a
would love to
nightmare
collect your
story.
money, but whenever it's time for them to
Time to
pay
pay
out,
out.
it's
Yes, it's
it's
a
not a
problem.
yeah, you're not their best friend.
Yeah.
But like I said, we have years of experience dealing with the insurance company. We have means and ways of how to get around them. We also know about the insurance jargons, the way how they talk, the things, the paperwork requested, and those kind of things, right? So we can get all of those things.
Listen, hey Adrian, if it's somebody calling for rental, you can take it.
Yeah, no, so
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah. So yeah, like I'm saying, I mean, dealing with the insurance company, you have to there's certain way you talk to them, there's things so that they don't, override you or whatever. So
Hmm.
we know how to deal with them. We can take care of them with your permission, of course. We have to get your permission to do that. But we can do that for you, and you can just sit back, take your rental, and then pick up your car whenever it's ready. We can make sure that everything is done for you correctly.
That's awesome. I'm learning a lot about you now than the previous interview. So I'm grateful for that. So you seem to be very well put together when it comes to car rental. Not only just the car rental, the strategies, the discounts, all the VIP service, which reflects in your 5-star review, but you also know the insurance aspects of it. You also
Yes.
know the mechanical aspects of it. So you pretty much seems like somebody gets in an accident, they should call you first,
Yeah.
not the
So
insurance
so
company.
so so for the minute you get into an accident, I always tell people, um, just make sure that whoever's on scene does not hurt, don't need immediate
Mhm.
medical attention, those kind of things. But once those immediate aspects are done, like I should be your first call after that. I'll get a tow truck out to you.
Okay.
I'll tow your car. I'll get a rental out to you. You know, then I can get with you and get the initial insurance claim open. Make
Okay.
sure that you get everything covered and that you're well taken care of from the beginning. Because some insurance company, even though you're paying for rental reimbursement, they would not approve a rental for you at the same time. They will let you
Interesting.
take Uber or figure your way out and be inconvenienced when you clearly have this as part of your policy, but they don't give it to you or don't let you know.
You know what? I've had a friend of mine went through the same situation. He had to basically wait, and it inconvenienced him. His job. He was working part time. He was going to school, and it kind of messed up his whole schedule. It messed with his life. It messed with his mind, and
Mhm. So
that's
why is he paying for
interesting.
insurance?
Exactly. Exactly. Sometimes you got to know the system. So that's a good
Right.
thing
So
for our viewers to know.
so the first question I always ask anybody is, I mean, are you paying the insurance or the insurance paying you? Which one? And the same way that if you're renting a car from me and you come and you see that my car is filthy, or the tires
Hmm.
are bad, or something's happening, what's the first thing you're gonna tell me? You're gonna call me on it right then and there.
Right.
You have to use the same principle with the insurance company. You're the boss. You're paying them every month, years on end, not making a claim. So for 10 years, you probably pay them for 10 years they're making straight profit from you, and the one time that you're calling to make a claim, they're not even letting you know what your coverages are,
Right.
right? So I mean that's where we come in. I mean, we had the years of experience, we know how to talk to them, we know what to tell them, and we can get you those things immediately. So you're not going to be at a disadvantage thinking, okay, I crashed my car, somebody ran into me, and I'm stranded, I don't know how I'm going to go to work tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll make sure that everything is taken care for you from the minute you call us.
Cool. So if someone wants to call, someone has, there's no drama, there's nothing with them. They just want to call you and say, "Hey, Adrian, I got this insurance company XYZ. Can you tell me what I'm covered for? God forbid I get into an accident." Would you do free consultation, something to that extent for customers who wants to
Yeah,
be educated?
yeah, that doesn't take too much time out of us. That's not a problem.
No, okay. And God forbid anything happened, they know what steps to take and all of that. That's phenomenal, man. That's awesome. And listen, if they mention CARICOM 15, put them on the list.
Yeah, of course.
So cool. There you have it, guys. Listen, Adrian Chanderpaul. Not just my perception of a car rental has always been vacation, travel, hanging out, chilling, all of that fun stuff. He actually put a spin. The first time I talked to him and we started talking about insurance companies and accidents, it blew my mind. I never realized that this was a possibility. Mind you, I'm a safe driver and all that good stuff. But yeah, he put the spin on. He showed me the other side of the car rental business, and it is when you get in a car accident, you're physically shaken no matter who you are. It doesn't have to be you've broken a bone, but you're physically shaken, mentally. Sometimes it affects your way of thinking. So you want to have a plan for that. So Adrian's a man to call. I've spoken with him quite a few times. He puts things into perspective for you. Put it that way. And God forbid, it's planned for a problem. So when the problem arises, you know what to do. So give him a call, free consultation, like he said. Mention CARICOM 15. You guys can even create a profile, set up the system. So when you do ready to get a rental or on a vacation, guess what? Discounts there. You already had a free consultation. You introduce yourself, all that fun stuff. But yeah, rentals is not only for vacations; it's also for car accidents. And what else? What else do people? What form of situations do people need car rental for, Adrian?
So some people use it in some people have been using cars right now because they're not happy with their Uber bill these days. So
Okay.
Uber prices have gone up significantly,
Yes.
and you can pretty much pick up a regular car for like $50 a day, and that's two Uber trip. If you have to do 3-4 trips per day, you might as well rent a
Hmm.
car for a day than to do Uber, right? Um, so a lot of our customers who don't have a car have the condo living lifestyle. They don't the minimalistic lifestyle. They don't need a lot.
Hmm.
They will come and rent cars from time to time for like a weekend, a week, something like that, because they have so many errands and so that they have to run. We have the tourists, of course. We have the
Hmm.
insurance replacement, which is the customers we just talked about that were in an accident. We have those customers that will call us. We have dealership customers. So we do a lot of work for dealerships where we
Okay.
partner with dealerships. And when a customer is in there for a warranty job, the dealership will recommend our car rental for them.
Oh,
So we do
cool.
that as well. So a lot of these things, it's a mix between tourists and
Hmm.
that. Like your problem.
So, thank you. Of course, thank you for noticing, man. I've been flashing this thing all evening
Oh,
and
that's why it's sipping so
finally
much.
noticed. Yeah, man. I'm like this guy.
Oh, you're trying
The
to
next
get
thing
my
I was about to
attention.
do
This is
this, but you mentioned dealership. I have a dealership background in my resume. Now, right now you work with current dealership. How is in terms of working with the dealership? What's the concept right now? If a dealership, the principal for a dealership is looking right now, what would you offer them? Or what would you say that differentiates you from them using enterprise and budget and all the other guys? What differentiates you from those guys?
so enterprise and these other guys. What I've known from them is they're the biggest company, so they don't really care about their customers, right? what the feedback I've gotten from dealership and how I become able to work with some of these dealership is that they will call, let's say, Enterprise or Horse or somebody for a rental for a customer that there for a warranty job. Now they have this customer waiting there 1 hour, 2 hour with their kid, waiting at the dealership for them to come pick them up, then drive them 20 minutes away, and then they're still waiting there another hour or so before everything is already set for them to go. So it takes away like 3 to 4 hours for that customer for that day. Our strategy is a bit different. We have the cars. If we're partnering with a dealership, we have systems in place that we do, and we have the cars on location at the dealership.
Wow,
So when the
interesting.
customer comes, if the dealer say, "Hey, we need a car for this customer," let's say Trevor, we need a car for Trevor. Okay, no problem. They connect Trevor with us. We get all the information we need for the rental, and everything is done via phone. We email you e-signature for you to sign. Contract comes back to us, goes to you, and then you go check your car right at the dealership. So all I will
Wow,
say that process takes as fast as you can get your information to me. It takes me 5 minutes to get it set up.
interesting.
So
So,
if you take 2 minutes to send that information to me, I take 5 minutes to set it up, and the dealership guys might take 2 minutes to get it. So in a space of 10 minutes, eight to
you
ten
got a
minutes, you
car.
can be in your rental and out of there.
So this is something that the bigger car dealerships are lacking because you just found the niche and you jump in there and you're dominating it. Because
Yeah,
it
because
sounds.
because the last thing a dealership wants, especially think about it, when a dealership have a customer that has something wrong with their car and it's a warranty issue, the first thing that customer is not happy to take their car there. They have to
Right.
take time off from work or babysitting or something with their kid or something. Either way, nobody wants to go and do that. So
True.
already they're pretty much pissed going into the dealership. Now, now if the dealership say, "Hey, I'll give you a rental," but now you have to wait an hour for them to come, you're just gonna be sitting there being pissed. And who you go- who you gonna examine this who are you gonna point this frustration
Vent.
to?
Yeah. Who you gonna
It's going
vent?
to be to the dealership because they're the
Yes.
one in front of you, right? So the service advisor there, they don't want that because they're dealing with another customer now. You're on the side now, being pissed, looking all mean. It's not a good look for the dealership for that.
Right. Right.
And then also, if you get like you get really frustrated, you then have to go talk to that service advisor. So what we do, we eliminate all of that stress from the dealership. You call,
That is.
no problem. We have a car available. Connect with a customer. Customer takes 2 minutes to send over the documents. We take 5 minutes to put everything together, send the email to you, and the service advisors take another 2 minutes or so to get the car. Or in most cases, what I let them do is get the car, put it in the service bay. So by the time I'm finished, they're just walking 10 steps to get the car.
Wow. So
So
let
everything
me.
can be done within 5 to 8 minutes.
Perfect. So let me ask you this: if a dealership is watching right now from Florida right now, what would you say to them?
If they want to partner with us, we have no problem. We have everything that we have meet all the requirements that a dealership would want, and we've exceed most of those requirements as well. If somebody wants to reach out to us, the numbers on the screen, you can simply give us a call and we can make this happen for your dealership as well.
Perfect. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Adrian, it's been a pleasure. It's 8:49. We usually push an hour. I know normally we have half an hour with somebody from the entertainment industry. We got you for a full hour. You are a repeated customer. You've been on the network from the beginning, basically. I want to thank you for that support. And sir, any last words you want to say to the viewers here tonight?
Well, I mean, what I would say to anybody is if you're looking for any type of business, not even a car rental, um, go on the CARICOM Business Network website. There's a lot of trustworthy business, a lot of Guyanese owned business, a lot of your own community. Support our community, support all these things. If you're looking for a handyman, you're looking for insurance, you're looking for a mortgage, it doesn't matter what you're looking for. If you go in the CARICOM Business Directory, you will find that service there. um, I will say do that and let one of this business that's listed there be your first call for whatever service you're looking for.
Damn, I appreciate that. Much love. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening. I really appreciate it. Adrian, thank you so much for your time, brother. Every time we chat, the conversation just gets more interesting and more interesting. I look forward to you coming back before the end of summer and tell us more about what's going on over there. With
Yeah.
that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Trevor, Adrian with the CARICOM Business Network. You guys have a great evening and a wonderful week ahead. With
All
that
right.
being
Thank you,
said,
Trey.
take care, guys. No worries, Adrian. My pleasure.